Did you know Bach flower remedies are basically water and brandy with extreme dilutions of flower material? And did you know the original theory was that early morning dew somehow absorbs a flower's healing properties? And yeah, did you know that when researchers actually tested this stuff, it didn't beat placebo in reliable trials? That's not just quirky, that's infuriating, because people are spending real money on a ritual dressed up as medicine. So let's talk about the myth. Bach flower remedies calm your mind, fix your stress, and help with emotional pain. Because flowers, energy, vibes, sunlight, and something do. People believe it because the story is lovely, the labels are soothing, and the name Bach sounds classical and trustworthy. Plus, it's marketed as gentle and natural, which is catnip for anyone burned by the medical system. The twist? When you strip away the romance and check the receipts, the best evidence says there's no effect beyond placebo. Receipts time. In multiple systematic reviews, that's scientists rounding up all the trials and grading their quality, the most reliable, placebo-controlled studies show no meaningful difference between Bach flower remedies and, well, fake drops. That includes a 2002 critical review and a 2010 systematic review reaching the same conclusion. When trials are done properly, the magic evaporates. Another review focused on psychological problems and pain found the same thing. Not more effective than placebo, though generally safe. Translation: it won't likely harm you, but it also won't do the heavy lifting claimed on social media. Major health orgs echo this. Cancer Research UK notes there's no good evidence for the sweeping claims made by flower remedy promoters. Meanwhile, the origin story is, frankly, whimsical. Edward Bach, a UK physician in the early 1900s, said he could sense a flower's emotional signature by holding it, and that sunlight passing through dew captured its energy into water. Charming? Absolutely. Science? Not so much. Now you might see a headline here or there about a small study with a positive blip. That happens with almost any popular remedy. For example, a recent meta-analysis on children and adolescents with ADHD symptoms reported a positive effect. But this is exactly why we weigh the total body of evidence and the quality of the trials. Small or low-quality studies can overestimate effects. When larger, better-controlled trials roll in, the signal often disappears. That's what the broad evidence shows for Bach remedies. Consistent, null results when the methods are rigorous. Be mad at the mechanism, not your neighbor. The system rewards eye-catching claims more than careful replication. Let's talk incentives. Why does the myth persist? First, the placebo effect is real, and it's powerful. If you take a moment, breathe, put a few drops under your tongue, and believe you'll feel calmer, you often will. Not because the drops carry mystical plant codes, but because your brain and expectations do a lot of the work. Second, marketing loves phrases like natural, energetic balance, and gentle. They're not regulated the way medical claims are, so you can sell a dream without proving it like a drug has to be proven. Third, there's a whole retail ecosystem. Boutique shops, wellness aisles, online influencers that profit from nice story, low evidence products. Nobody is out here bankrolling expensive randomized trials to prove their own bestseller does nothing special. It's not a conspiracy, it's a business model built on vibes and margins. Here's the human stakes part. Imagine two people, both anxious before a big presentation. One buys a $20 bottle of rescue mix and credits it for getting through the talk. The other uses a free breathing protocol for 5 minutes, gets the same calm, and keeps their money. Multiply that across millions of buyers, and you've got a tidy transfer of cash from stressed humans to decorative droppers. Worse, if someone leans on these remedies for persistent anxiety, sleep issues, or mood problems, they might delay options that actually help, from cognitive behavioral tools to evidence-backed treatments, because the natural thing should work eventually, right? And if it doesn't, they might blame themselves instead of an inert product. That's the quiet harm. Time and hope drained by an elegant placebo. We're not mad at people. We're mad at bad incentives. The story is designed to feel true. Flowers are calming to look at, so maybe their essence calms you inside. But when rigorous trials compare essence versus placebo, the difference vanishes. According to multiple systematic reviews, that's the pattern. No advantage over placebo. If a friend charged you $20 every time you needed to breathe for 5 minutes, you'd call them out. So why does the wellness aisle get a free pass? Receipts. Continued. A 2009 review looking at psychological problems and pain. No better than placebo. Probably safe. A 2010 Swiss Medical Weekly review scanning randomized trials. Same verdict. When studies are done right, the effect disappears. Cancer Research UK. No solid evidence for big claims. Even enthusiastic overviews from the Bach Center highlight tradition and anecdotes more than hard data, which is telling. And yes, you can always find a small pilot or a niche cream study that hints at benefit. But if the signal were strong and real, we'd expect to see it consistently across multiple, larger, well-controlled trials. We don't. So what do you do with this frustration? Turn it into agency. First, if you like a pre-talk ritual, keep the ritual. Ditch the costly dropper. Try evidence-based de-stress tactics with real effect sizes. Slow nasal breathing, e.g., 4 to 6 breaths per minute, a 5-minute body scan, a brisk 10-minute walk, or a short scripted reappraisal. This is excitement, not danger. Second, if you're managing ongoing anxiety or mood symptoms, talk to a licensed professional about options with track records. Even self-guided CBT apps can help when used consistently. Third, audit your wellness spend for a month. Add up everything labeled natural calm and ask, would I pay this much for a guided breathing app and a decent walk? Fourth, if a shop, influencer, or label implies medical-level benefits, ask for citations. If they point to tiny, uncontrolled studies, you've got your answer. Finally, share your story. If you tried these remedies and realized the ritual, not the formula, was doing the work, tell people. You'll save someone time and money. Here's the kicker. When you do a simple substitution, keep the calming ritual, swap the pricey drops for tap water. The whole excuse falls apart. You still get the pause, the breath, the expectation. You just keep your cash. Be mad at the mechanism. Reward what works. Question beautiful stories that skip the boring part. Proof. Quick recap. The myth says, flower essences carry healing energy that soothes your mind. The science says, in good trials, they don't outperform placebo. The system says, shh, we call it standard. Please don't look closely. Our response? Look closely anyway. And now for the real call to action. Drop your most outrageous wellness aisle WTF moment in the comments. Did you know X and Y and Z? Wait for it. The data says no. That's bonkers. If this saved you a few bucks or a few illusions, hit like, subscribe to the Debunkers, and share this with the friend who keeps offering you floral moon water. Let's fund facts, not fantasies.